Hello and welcome to BFS Wargaming and to another video. So today we are going to talk about Space Marines. So I want to start this video off by saying how much I love what GW have done with Space Marines, the flavour they've given them. I've just seen the previews for Faith and Fury, and there's even more rules in there. So you know, more stuff you can do with chaplains. There's chaplain specific litanies. So for instance, with the White Scars, you've got the reroll wounds within 6 inches. Like, it's brilliant, you know, really cool. Loads and loads of rules. Love it. I love how the Iron Hands are really good with vehicles. I love how the Imperial Fists are really good against vehicles and obviously buildings and stuff. Like, just the fluff and the flavour of each chapter is really shown now, and you're at such a benefit to play them the way that they're meant to be played, and I love that. Now, obviously, we've still got Psychic Awakening is still going. We've got chapter approved still to come out. I just wanted to make this video to talk about Space Marines and how they are currently. Space Marines obviously amazing. I think it would have been really hard for GW to balance Space Marines with how many rules they've brought in. Like, I think when you're trying to keep something balanced, you bring, you know, maybe 1 or 2 rules in at a time. Obviously, we knew Space Marines needed a well, they were terrible, let's face it, they were terrible. We know they needed a good boost, and they've definitely had a good boost. And I think now, I can't see them getting any points changes unless it's Forge World models in chapter approved, because I do think where maybe they tried to balance the codex with points changes, they put the repulsor up and stuff like that. They didn't actually change any of the Forge World models. So stuff like Leviathans, Leviathan Dreadnoughts, Fellblades, all of these things that are Forge World models that were already pointed the way they were pointed with the old Space Marine book, haven't been changed, but they have all got so much better. So I really think, and I'm really hoping in chapter approved this gets addressed, because I do think that, you know, the Forge World models do need to be looked at again. You might disagree, you might think they're all very well pointed now. I might be wrong. I just think that if you've pointed something before you then give it all these new rules, surely there's got to be something, unless you thought it was that bad before, that it didn't need it. Like the Leviathan Dread, you know, you can now half the damage on it, it's got 4 up in Van, you know, Leviathan Dreads are brilliant. I just feel like they might be a little bit too good for their points. But, you know, feel free to disagree with me. I'm sure loads of people will. So, other things I wanted to address with Space Marines is obviously the doctrines. I really like the doctrines. It gives Space Marines a really nice flavour. I wanted to address the super doctrines because I think Space Marines do need to be brought back a little bit in line, because I can't see... I've seen the previews of Faith and Fury, I've gone through and I've looked at it, like the Chaos have got some really nice stuff. They haven't had, like, you know, they could have had a bit more extra on the chapter tactics. They could have had, the Legion traits, sorry. They could have had, you know, so their Legion traits work on vehicles and stuff like that. None of that. Didn't do anything like that. Which is sad, I think, because why not? I know you don't, like, they're already taking Chaos and the Imperium in 2 different routes as far as it comes to Marines, which I really like. You know, you've got the whole new Primaris range and stuff. But give Chaos, you know, buff Chaos a bit. Give them some stuff to bring them in line. And maybe they're going to. Maybe it will come out in chapter approved, I don't know. But, so going back to doctrines, I do feel like the super doctrines, so for instance the +1 damage against vehicles for Imperial Fists, the reroll 1s, and move like you haven't, not shooting, sorry, move and shoot heavy weapons like you haven't moved, sort of thing, ignore the penalty. So I think these are really strong, and they're really good. And obviously you've got the Ultramarines one, Raven Guard and Salamanders that are all coming on the tactical doctrine, and then the Imperial Fists and the Iron Hands coming on the Devastator Doctrine, so turn 1, they all come turn 2, and then the White Scars come turn 3. And I was thinking about it, and I think why these are all really strong traits, I think. Probably apart from the Raven Guard is very specific, depending on how you're playing. But I feel like if they were only coming to play as of turn 3, so your Super Doctrine, comes into play as of turn 3, it might just bring Space Marines back down. And it would also even all the Space Marines out, because White Scars can't get theirs until turn 3 anyway. A lot of Raven Guard, Salamanders and Ultramarines can't get theirs till turn 2. So Imperial Fists and Iron Hands are automatically, as soon as you start the game, at an advantage over the rest of the chapters. Just purely because they've got that. So I do think it's something that they could bring in. It's just an idea, just throwing it out there. I'm not saying, I haven't play tested anything. I don't know if it would work. It might absolutely nerf things like fists and Iron Hands into the ground. It might be terrible. I don't know. I'm just saying, it could be an idea. Maybe GW, have a play test with it, have a feel around with it, see what you think. Obviously, it would be a nerf, but that's the idea, to try and maybe bring Space Marines just down a little bit. Because people were like, I've heard people say I should take the doctrines away completely. And I'm like, I think if you can buff the other factions just a little bit with Cycle of Awakening, bring them up, and then just tone Space Marines down just a touch, and hopefully... But maybe there's things... I'm sure there's plans for new codexes for all these other factions, which will bring them all in line. Obviously I don't know. I'm not in GW, but I'm assuming they're not just going to leave Space Marines way up here forever. I'm sure there'll be some balancing and some addressing. Obviously, I'm chapter approved. The 3 units I can see that I look at and think, maybe they're a little bit undercosted. Thunderfire Cannons are extremely good for their points. The Centurions seem to be the unit of the Codex at the moment. Everyone's loving Centurions. And Aggressors seem pretty good for their points. So yeah, just maybe them 3 maybe need a little bit of a points increase. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that is really underpointed. And Aggressors, I was a bit like, maybe they are quite cheap for what they do with all their new, they've got an extra wound, extra attack, all that sort of thing. They've become quite good, and they didn't change in points. So, but maybe they're well pointed. Let me know. Tell me what you think. But this is just, me throwing out ideas out there into the air just to see, what people think. Obviously, I'm going to have people that are like, you're an idiot, this is a stupid idea. And maybe it is. Maybe they're stupid ideas. Maybe they are. It just seems that, Centurions seem to be... So many people want Centurions that they must be that good. So maybe they just need a little tweak. But again, I don't want anything to be nerfed so it's not usable, because that's not what you want at all. Whenever I talk about stuff, I'm always trying to sort of bring balance. And maybe I can't see the balance that's coming. So maybe I am wrong. Maybe in 3 weeks' time, chapter approval will come out and loads of other stuff in other codexes will have points drops. And then suddenly they've got loads more stuff on the table. And then you're like, okay, this stuff doesn't need points drops. This doesn't need to happen. The Super Doctrine's fine. I don't know. But I'm just throwing it out there. As it stands at the moment, I feel like there just needs to be a little bit of balance. And like I say, turn 3 Super Doctrines, I don't think is, Space Marines without the Super Doctrines at all ever are still, I would say, the strongest faction. Don't get me wrong, you can say, oh yeah, there's Tau. There's one build of Tau at the moment that are beating Space Marines, which is obviously the Riptides and a million drones. Well, a million, about 40. But I think that is a bit of a testament to the fact that the drone saving protocols is a bit broken, and that needs fixing. I actually think that there's a couple of ideas that I had about the saviour protocols. One is that the drones should have to be between, like grot shields, the drones have to be between the firing model and the unit they're firing at. which makes people not be able to hide drones out of line of sight. So you can't shoot the drones, you have to shoot the Riptide and then the drones, because how are drones intercepting it if they can't see the shot? Doesn't make sense. Unless you go, oh yeah, they fly up and around, but come on. The other thing is when you shoot big damage in, like say for instance you're shooting a D6 weapon in, normally it'll get turned to 1 mortal wound, but I think you should roll the damage and then however much damage. So if it's 4 damage, it's 4 mortal wounds. So, you know, if you've got a unit of drones, there's a chance that you're going to be taking out more than one with that multi-damage weapon, because I just think otherwise it's just too strong. But yeah, again, you might completely disagree with me and you might say that will just kill Tau, but I feel like Tau should have, you know, the Codex should have more than one way to play competitively. So if that's the case, that would destroy Tau and Tau would no longer be competitive, then they need to change the Codex and make other builds competitive, not just drones of savior protocols. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. It's just a short video on Space Marines and their current state, I suppose. I think they're brilliant. I love them. I love Space Marines. I love playing all the different chapters. I think there's so much flavour to them. I just want the game to be balanced. Let me know what you think, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.